Alright, part 4 of Corpse Girl. Corpse Girl is Noriko. We're playing Corpse Factory. There we go. The convenience store is a little more crowded than usual. The mundane chatter of the business people, students, workers buzzes in the air like a swarm of relentless flies. Throughout the drone of mingled conversations, I happen to catch a few interesting words here and there.
Have you seen that one website?
What do you mean by request a death?
Hey, that's like so dumb. Just hire somebody, God. My lips curl into a half smile, half snarl.
Since he always cheats, I thought I might upload his photo.
And you think Corpse Girl really exists?
To hear so many people talking about Corpse Girl's website is enough to make my nerves tingle. However, I know they're not talking about it because of Akane Tsurumaki's death. As far as I can tell, her death wasn't reported to the news as a suspicious case. The only source of information I could locate was her obituary. And that didn't mention anything about foul play, so there's no way anyone could know that Corpse Girl was involved. People are talking about the website in the same way they always have. Like it's just an interesting topic of conversation, an icebreaker. One of those things you tell your friends to entertain them. And therein is my issue with the website as a topic of conversation. It's just an urban legend, a point of discussion that inevitably fizzles out and is forgotten. People talk about it, people visit the website out of curiosity, but very few people take action to request a death. That's the part that annoys me. If people don't actively participate, how can I prove myself to the world? How can Corpse Girl claim her victims if there are no victims to be claimed? As long as the website is simply talking point, a myth, an icebreaker, then Corpse Girl's ambitions will remain unfulfilled. To be fair, I haven't yet provided a compelling reason for the people to take the website seriously. The death toll is humiliating low. I need to ramp it up and step up my game for Corpse Girl's sake. Until I manage to do that, people will continue to simply discuss the website in hushed tones, like it's some taboo fantasy we shouldn't be spoken of. But with some time and some more victims, soon, everyone will know to fear Corpse Girl. Thanks to this constant drone in my convenience store, I barely registered the quiet melody of a ringtone. Eventually, my ears become keen enough to pick it out, and I answer my phone.
Hey. Good morning, Noriko. Is this a bad time?
Just at the convenience store buying coffee.
Not at all. I'm at the convenience store. Oh, good. I wanted to catch you before work. No worries. I actually meant to call you yesterday, but the day got away from me. That's okay. I wanted to ask if you spoke to Shinya yet?
Yeah, you got the job.
I sure did. Guess what? What? You start work on Monday. You'll be doing data entry with me. We might even get to sit near each other. Oh my gosh. Really? Are you telling the truth? Of course. When have I ever lied to you?
Forever about your real personality.
Oh, Noriko. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does this mean I can quit the maid cafe now?
Yes.
Yep. Quit today if you can. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Allie, are you crying? I'm so happy.
Making Aoi so overwhelmingly happy feels really good. I care so much for this girl. Her happiness is vital to me.
I owe you so much. And Shinya too. I know. I'll buy him a gift to give him on my first day. Do you think he'll like that?
Yes, but I don't think Tomo will.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's a great idea, Aoi.
She seems to be the jealous type. Just a hunch, though.
What does he like?
I managed to spill the answer to that without even having to think twice.
Crime novels. Oh, really? Oh, his dad is a detective, right? Okay, I can get something like that. Right now, I'm going to march into the cafe and quit.
Do it, girl. Treat yourself.
You tell him. Good luck, kid. Okay, Bye, Noriko.
The call ends and I smile. Aoi sounds so happy. I'm really glad that I could help her out. She deserves to be happy. I barely have time to select a can of coffee from the line of refrigerator shelves before my phone rings again.
Huh? Aoi? Sorry to call again, Noriko. I just, something was bugging me, so... What's up? Did I, this is going to sound stupid. Did I thank you for getting me the job? Oh, yeah, you did. A few times, I think. Okay, phew. I just wanted to check. It was bothering me, and I didn't want to come off as ungrateful, so...
What a nice girl.
You know what? Just to make sure. Thank you, Noriko. Okay, I'm going now, really. Bye, Aoi.
I just kind of clicked through that. I wasn't reading it. My bad. The office atmosphere is usually somber when I exit the elevator. There are a few people around than normal. Some executives I rarely see on this level are hovering around in one or glass screen cubicles to one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot, despite the fact that whoever is on the other end of the call can't see him. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but nobody seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to my desk and sit down. I spend a lot of time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives in front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
Nope.
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Oh.
Oh? Somebody we know?
Is it Tomo? Shinya shakes his head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec,
Oh,
up on the
okay.
21st floor. Apparently, she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal
Hey.
day.
Lily, what are you doing? Barking for?
People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in some sort of accident, and now she's...
Oh, was she the girl?
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
Yes. Dead.
So, I mean, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this explain where everyone is today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning. Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work.
Did they really know her, though? I mean, she was an exec, right?
Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy.
Oh, shit, it is her!
Unexpected.
She's going to be like, wait, that name. I know that name. I blink a few times, getting ready to turn back to my computer. Miss Tsurumaki?
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything. It's really sad.
Yeah, you should feel bad, Noriko. Though I never met her before, her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation, an accident. She worked here? I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with 1,000 employees, Japan-wide, but still. For her to work in the very same building as me? It's too coincidental, it doesn't feel right. Would I have gone through with killing her if I knew she worked in my building? This scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have to be somebody who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realize that I've been spacing out and I turn back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways, I think. The details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help.
I don't think it will. I'm just saying.
As for me, I think I'll be okay. Some quiet reflection on the matter should help clear my head.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to. It's important to look ahead in times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
It's probably one of those inspirational quote things.
Ugh, yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know that at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No, I was careful to cover my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner phone's SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone would find out I was involved. Besides, I didn't even know if authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as the general information goes, it would seem like it truly is being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear. I know I am. However, I would like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Shiromaki's death. The thought that it could be someone I work with makes me way too curious. A little too curious. Despite work being eventful this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Even Tomoe kept her distance from me. I wonder if I scared her off when I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually would report her, because Noriko's ain't no snitch. That would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that considering my moonlighting occupation. Especially now that I have a connection to Shiramaki. I brushed my hair in front of the mirror in my bedroom. I removed my makeup and revealed the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. Since tonight is rather cold, I decided to snuggle up under the covers in bed with my laptop. I crawled into bed and pulled the plush blankets up over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here and now. To keep myself awake, I checked the requests on my website. I'm pleasantly surprised to find there are 2 new requests. 2 in one day. My heart begins to race, and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads, 11:14 a.m. Logo time. Victim's phone. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Okay, I'm done. Image attached, not found. No image attachment. What? I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless an image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My autism renewed. I hurriedly click onto the unread message. Request details. 5:06 p.m. Victim's phone. Downloading image attachment. Yes, this request has submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. The new victim is male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile or if it's an ID photo of some sort. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm not so naive to pretend I can't guess at the reasons this guy is wanted dead. Perhaps an ex has submitted his details after a bad breakup, or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting the death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. So why did somebody want Shiramaki dead? She was so plain looking, so uninteresting. She didn't look like she was capable of even thinking about wrongdoing somebody. I mean, that's not always the case, though. Sometimes people want people dead because, they just want them dead. They're wrong place, wrong time. I mean, sometimes that happens. It's not unheard of. Did somebody want revenge on her? Or did someone simply find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on the past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. This new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. We all get that what's coming to us. No sense in trying to avoid scarring a pretty face. Beauty is superficial anyway. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're good looking. Beautiful people should suffer as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type. Well, now we know, but she suffers endlessly at the hands of cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we were dealt. So why fuss over the beautiful corpse? This guy or Aoi, or even Tomo had a good day. Beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there's some petty reason his death has been requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn a single one down. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way to her fame. With a smirk and a lick on my lips, I get to work. I got a nice clear photo here, so I can go all out on the request. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time to select a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of the corpse with a knife in its throat, or somebody soaking in blood in a bathtub with its wrist slit. Either image would do just fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across a perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build, male. The corpse legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines in the same suburban street. It's perfect, beautiful even. It will help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind this photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to the sucker. Well, regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy, available, and save it to my hard drive. My fingers trace along the computer's trackpad to practice movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. Friday. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even managed to take a seat from the first time in a while. I withdraw a worn book from my handbag and open the cover. There's a name scrawled on the blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a secondhand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its age-covered and weathered spine both bear the same title. False Photography, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. The book is written in English, and it's a slog worked through with my limited knowledge of that language. But I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993, when it was first published. It's true that a lot of techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that the featured artists perform an opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating the images of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book edit images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras, when photographs of people were taken few and far in between, the sect of artists dedicated themselves to honoring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to the family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remembered them, instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse? These artists applied a paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process is the way they illustrated the corpse's eyes to look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from what I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artist discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Browsing through the images of this book inspires me to work hard on my own photo editing. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finished flipping through a chapter and closed the book. I hold the tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. While I'm certain nobody is looking, I carefully open the lid of the largest dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food, who knows what else assaults my senses. I reflectively gag and splutter. The staff at the convenience store really need to steal their trash in plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
The raised open lid locks into place at a 45-degree angle. Only my now free hands retrieve a small black object from my handbag. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shining charcoal finish. I open it up, tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Now that myself satisfied that I've covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it in the dumpster. Then I snap the phone in half along the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with a gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I sidle between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now in front of the convenience store, I finally feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I cracked the SIM card in half and disposed of it in the combustible trash. Now that the phone is self-destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It has been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my latest victim. That athletic guy that I may have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety, and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no point in holding on to the evidence my wrongdoing. There's no point in holding on to the evidence of my wrongdoing for the longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim's timestamp. May 30th, 10:31 a.m. The victim may decide to kill himself today. Of course, he could end up just like Akane Tsurumaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold on to it just until a few hours before the designated time. He'll let a panic and fear boil and build inside him until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Rui Hatano. Did she, or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I crossed the road. On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to the apartment, provided the weather is decent. I avoid a park in the morning since a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and this is the time even it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. The city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think of much of it as I walk buy every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do. But there's not exactly anything I could do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare when I just end up homeless as well? I'm not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara, and commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. I don't care even if I don't even get me started on the cost of coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than not, I'm paying up to 100 to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy a canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Quixote. Wait a minute. Wait, is that a real thing? Is Don Quixote a real thing? I thought that was just a store from Yakuza. Wait, no, now I have to know. I have to know now. Maybe that was just a reference. I'm not finding anything. I still only need to save a handful of loose change. I want to have access to the familiar selection I get at this convenience store. I'm just thankful that I don't go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Realizing that I'm trudging along the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Toward the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on the bench come into view. The sound of laughter carries on in the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard the voices before. As I draw closer, the sinking sensation clutches my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm so close to home.
Aha!
Damn it!
Noriko! Fancy seeing her here.
Okay, I'm back. What's happening?
Noriko's here.
Tomo and Shinya. I found them on their date. Tomo glares and flips her hair, long hair behind her ear with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside of the office, his face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomo did mention that they were going on a date on Friday night. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I would run into them on the way home. Though what are they doing here in Akihabara? I have to assume that Tomo came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home?
Yes.
Uh-huh. How's your, date?
We're having a blast. Right, Chen?
Yes, of course. A great time.
Wow. I don't believe you, Shinya. I'm sorry. You gotta act better than that, man. I wonder if Tomo has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
It's a date. 3 is the crowd.
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way to spend an evening than eating with Tomo.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Oh, Shinya, my man. Just leave the date. Tell her you don't like her. You're not enjoying your time. Just go, man. Just go. It's not worth it. Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this date on himself. Why should I have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
God, you're insufferable. You're both insufferable. I don't like either of you. Shinya's the only good person, and so is Aya. So far, at least. I honestly don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Oh my god.
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
I don't like you at all. I cannot proclaim any more than I have of how much I don't like Tomo or Noriko. She's starting to get on my nerves. I swear she tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub them in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
They're not friends. Noriko told you this.
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Right.
Huh. Fascinating.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay. See you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
Such a drag. I let Tomo's words hang in the air as I walk past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? I don't think she wanted a date at all, okay? She doesn't like the dude, okay? And now, the dude doesn't like her that she was complaining didn't like her before she attacked you. Does she care about Shinya at all, or is this whole thing just to annoy me? That's probably what it is, but like also, you shouldn't be so full of yourself, I'm just saying. Tomo dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomo is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomo calls out to me again.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
You shouldn't have said that. You hit the Aoi button. You shouldn't have done that. I grimaced. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turned back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Someone get the ice. Get the ice.
Well, I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going.
I can finally manage to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomo's mocking laugh piercing the air. I exit the park, cross the road, and walk down the block, leading to my apartment. Tomo, I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I have to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. Saturday. I spent all morning trying unsuccessfully to calm my nerves. Actually, I'm gonna end it on this episode. It's been a minute. I'll see you all later. Peace.
Another dimension.
Holy shit, I'm alive, huh?
Dimension.
Yeah, how are you alive right now?
I don't know, man!
Holy shit, man!
Another dimension.
Let's go, motherfuckers! I'm gonna run you around like it's Donkey Kong.
He blinded me and he stole my show.
I ain't playing your fucking game.
You're damn right, I killed him.
You call it pro?
Another dimension.
Power of editing.